you know, it's like we lived in the South, and you know, it's down there is kind of different. Like you got ones like people who are there is like the real poor, but then you got the people who are like down there. The cost of living is different, the price of everything is different. So like you know, they're able to like go and do things, and you know, we saw that. I've seen like you know other places around the country where it's not that way. You know, it's like even just the price of gas. Like I'm looking at y'all. I go back home, gas is $5 a gallon. Here it's not even $3 here.
Damn, that's amazing.
You know, like, why is that? You know, make it make sense.
Right? Well, what about the whole egg thing? Like, the eggs are hell of expensive, and then you go to every other state and they're normal price. Like, make it make sense.
You know, yeah, that's like for us, you know, that's like part of like, it's hard for us. It's a struggle because we want that, like, we want our kids to, like, you know, I'm all about diversity, right? Like, I think people, you know, this is what makes this country great, you know, but, you know, I don't know if we want to get into the whole immigration thing. You know, I do feel a certain way.
Hey, I mean, you know, it's so relevant right now. I think it's very important. I feel like...
It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, yeah, like, you know, I want my kids to be diverse. So we struggle with that because, like, we also want, you know, like you said, the price of eggs. Like, we got chickens here at this farm. Like, we get 8 to 20 eggs a day.
Damn, that's cool.
Like, you know what I mean?
Let me get a dozen.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, literally, like, my boss's wife, like, they're her chickens. And she's like, you know, take some eggs, please.
Aww.
You know, I can't keep up, you know? And, like, you know, Tori learned how to make, like, French bread and, like, you know, like, we're trying to, like, you know, eat more and more, like, game meat.
Yeah.
Tori's like, you know, because at first for her, you know, like, no, if you don't grow up eating it, it is different. Like, it is, like, there's no lie that it is different than which, it's not a steak. You know, it is, but, like, the other night we had elk steaks.
Yeah.
And they were delicious. And for her, like, you know, now it's like, she's like, oh, yeah, this is good. Like, we can't make this. You know what I mean? Like trying to, like, cut back some of that cost. But it's hard, man. Like, it's hard because, you know, some days it's like, you know how it is. You get home from work, you're like, man, I want to cook. You know?
Yeah, big facts.
You order something, like, well, it sucks now. You order something, you get it, and you're like, God, man, why did I spend my money on this shit? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
big facts.
I'm not hungry anymore, but, ugh.
Right. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like, and so, like, yeah, but, you know, I wish more people could do that, you know, it's tough, you know, because, like, and, like, you know, like, even where we live in Montana, like, there's not a lot of people moving up there, but, like, even, like, you know, that people feel, like, pressed, you know, like, oh, like, you know, all this space we're used to having, now there's not as much space, like, there's more people, like, we go through it in hunting season, a lot of people come to our part of the world up there, and the local people, you know, they feel a way about it, because they're like, man, like, you know, we're here all the time, and y'all come up here, it is good that you guys do put money in the economy, but, like, man, y'all are blocking the road and, like, leaving litter and just, like, you know, like, disrespecting the community, you know? And so, you know, you go through that kind of thing, or, like, people kind of, like, yeah, like, when I used to go to Montana when I was younger, they'd be like, you know, move here, we need more doctors, we need more lawyers, we need more teachers. Like, people, like, you know, when that you don't need to pick who comes.
Right.
So, like, you gotta take whatever comes with that, and, like, people sometimes, you know, that means things are gonna change, and that's hard for people, you know? And, you know, whether you feel that they should change or not, you know, so.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, to see up there, because people would think, like, you know, that part, like you talk about, like, you know, it's red, right? It's Republican. But, like, there's a guy in the community who, you know, his kids, I was calling sporting events up there. His kids were a part of our high school at the town I live in. And he's got picked up by ICE. And, like, the community's, like, raising money for him. But this is a super red, you know, county, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, there's like a dichotomy there. Like, I think, you know, there's something to be said. It's tough because, like, you know, I worked with somebody recently who was an illegal immigrant and, like, a great worker, great dude, trying to learn the language, and that's like I feel away because it's like, man, this is a good kid. This is something that you would want in this country, like working here, right? Like part of your like business. Yeah. But I feel away too because it's like no matter, even if he is a good dude and he came here, he's using somebody's social security number. So somebody somewhere's getting hurt. Yeah. Right. So it's like it sucks. You know, it's tough. You know, but anyway. I think about this stuff because, like, you know, when you're young, you don't have a kid or anything like that. Like, who cares, right? It's like, man,
I feel the same exact way because now that I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh my god, like, oh my god.
You different, right? You get different. You're like, man, like, well, you know, I don't want my kid to be like, you know, having to compete with somebody that's like that's getting like this huge step up while, you know, the price for you and me keeps going up. Like, in my sister's kids, like, they're gonna be raised like, you know, they go to daycare all day long while she has to work. And she's bound to make it out. And then this other kid who came here and his parents, you know, got here, you know, came across, and he gets all these like foot up. You're like, oh, he need, they need that. It's like, yeah, but like, what about the people in our country that need it?
Right.
It's like,
help us, help ourselves before we help others.
Help us, help. Yeah, exactly. So but it's tough though, because there is like a human element to it, right? You're like, man.
Right. I mean, we have a heart, because just like, I mean, that was a perfect example of what you said with your community. You're in a full red state, and they still are taking the time to raise money for someone in their community. You know what I mean? And I feel like that speaks levels. I don't know if out there you guys are like protesting and shit and, all of that, but...
Our podcast.
Hi! I feel like out here people are so vocal, and I feel like the reality of the people protesting out here is they don't know what they're protesting for, one, and two, I feel like it's just like false information. Like, no one does their own due diligence of homework now.
Yeah. And that's what I'm like, man, like, there's a million things you could protest about, right? There's a million injustices in the world.
Right.
And I'm like, this is the thing you picked over, like, anything you could pick of your fellow citizen being harmed. It's like, someone made a great point. Like, I wish everybody could get behind this, like, they are, the same energy towards the IRS.
Okay,
like,
shoot.
Like our money, or like the same energy towards like politicians who are like, or caught with their hand in the cookie jar. It's like, no one can seem to get behind these things that actually make a difference, but they get behind something like this. And it does go back partly to like, and we're going on a rabbit hole here, but like what the media chooses to focus on.
Right.
I had a guy teach me one time in a class, and this was like an African American studies class or like a sociology class, but taught by African American gentleman. And he said, you know why black violence is so prevalent in the media? It was one of the main reasons. And I was like, why? He goes, because there's a million nonprofit organizations with the focus of like supposed to like lower crime and black violence. He goes, and if you were to solve the problem, they all would be out of a job and the money would stop.
Damn.
He goes, so why would they be incentivized to actually solve the problem? And I feel like it's that with a bunch of this stuff, like even with legal immigration, like they're not incentivized to solve the problem because it's a money, it's all about the money, follow the money. Like the corporations make money off being able to pay lower wages and be able to like, why does Walmart hire legal immigrants? Because they can pay them less, they don't have to treat them right. They can get rid of them if they want to, or who are you going to go cry to?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why do they work in agriculture? Because they can get taken advantage of. They can work in crazy hours. You know what I mean? They can hire kids who are way underage to be working and take advantage. Have them out there in the sun in terrible conditions. And why can they do that? They can do that because who are they going to go run to? Right.
Or just like Big Pharma. It's a never-ending, I need medication that's going to mess up something else and then give me another medication to mess up something else. Never-ending. The loop.
Big Pharma is the biggest scam on the American people because we can't sue them. They passed that in the legislation. The pills that we buy here, they buy in Europe for a fraction of the cost. We make them here, sell them to them. They sell them cheaper than that we sell them back to our own people here in this country. It's the biggest scam in the world. Half the medications, give you some kind of side effect. Like it's like you want to talk about like school shootings and like these people like. This isn't a popular thing. Like, if you live your life any way you want. If you're an adult, that's how I feel about it. But you talk about like all this like mental like illness and people not knowing. I don't feel like a woman in a man's body and all this stuff. And we don't talk about like all the prescription like antidepressants, all the Ritalin, and go on and on and on about the things that get abused in this country. As you think that stuff doesn't affect your brain? You're playing with the chemistry of your brain. Of course it does.
Right.
I'll be very honest. I remember one time, after my divorce, I was extremely depressed. They put me on like antidepressant, and I threw it away. It made me feel like a zombie. I was, the only thing that brought me out of that was myself.
Period.
And like your own, getting outside, getting back doing things that you like to do. Touching grass, getting fresh air.
Right.
Unplug, So I catch myself, I use social media for work and stuff, but that's really an excuse because I deleted social media for a month back in the summer. It was one of the most refreshing months I had in I don't know how long.
I love that.